Howdy, lieutenants and economists.
The most volatile, evil, disgusting things on the planet, humans. If you have a video request, you can always go to assholeconsulting.com.
Yeah, I am gonna charge you, kids. And that is the importance of not fucking up.
You are such an asshole!
Good morning, children. This video response is brought to you in part by Reconnaissance Man, because it is germane to the topic, so I just want to bring that up. Normally I don't sponsor my own consultation videos, but I should because I am an asshole. Why not make more money? Hello, Cuckster Clary. Old Cappy, I just woke up. Got a big day ahead of me. Big day, so we're going to start it off right here. Friend and I will be traveling to the Mountain Time Zone, visiting some of America's most beautiful natural locations. Some of these include Pikes Peak, Rocky Mountains, Zion National Park, Bryce Canyon, Arches National Park, Monument Valley, and California's Yosemite National Park. Mike, dude, you are missing so many that are on the way. First, Canyonlands. That's right, literally across the highway, literally across the street from Arches National Park. It is way cooler than Arches National Park. Arches, you just drive through it, you look at the arches, there it is. And unless you're a technical climber, that's all you can really do is look at Arches National Park. Canyonlands, that's where I spend my time. And then okay, you're going to do Monument Valley, but you're not going to go past the Grand Canyon? I mean, you're going to go right past it. Do you maybe want to drive up by Williams, Arizona, the hour and 10 minutes it takes to get there and come, look at it at least? Say you saw it on your way to Yosemite? It's Yosemite, Aaron. Shut up, In this period of traveling around 4 weeks, we'll also include the majority time camping. All of this slightly inspired by Reconnaissance Man. Oh, you did read it. Good, thank you. You have 4 weeks to do all that. You're going to be starting the Rocky Mountains and Pike Peak, so that's in Denver. And you're making a big ass... No, you're not making a big... You're not going south, you're going through. Yeah, you're not going to... Let me save you some time here, dude. And some camping fees. I would not camp. You don't have the time. Your shortest resource on this is your 4 weeks. And setting up and taking down camp, and just not to mention just sitting there, that's another thing. You just sit there as a campsite when you could be driving to another site. What I would do is, as detailed in Reconnaissance Man, is I would stay at waysides. So if you and your buddy, how many buddies you got? You and a friend. Can you rent a van and put some air mattresses in the back? I'm not joking. That's what I would do. And you just find a wayside. You guys sleep. When you're tired, you pull over either some Bureau of Land Management, federal land, and just zonk in the car. The reason I say waysides is because there's bathrooms there and running water. You can wash up in the sink and all that. Just trust me, with 4 weeks, you're not going to have that time. You're not. Especially if you want to hike. Bring camping gear if you want, like if you do a significant hike. But I would do most of your sleeping in the van. It's going to save you a lot of time, and that time will add up, and then you can get a hike in, maybe even get an extra thing. And then another thing, you probably didn't ask about this, is the first national park you go to, you buy a national park pass. Only one of you has to buy the National Park Pass, because then you guys get in as a car. And that's going to say, I think it's $80 this year, maybe $100. But if you visit more than 4, you've already earned it back, and it sounds like you are. So you're going to get yourself a National Park Pass, just one of you. And if that person dies, the most important thing is to take his pass. That's oh, dark humor so early in the morning. 8:20. Questions that arise which are going to you. How much time did you spend hiking up moderate to higher steep drops before you felt comfortable hiking Angel's Landing? None. I guess I've never feared... I did free climbing without ropes over at Taylor's Falls, Minnesota. There's some cliffs that come out of the Mississippi, and they're like, enough, if you fell, you'd die. It was probably stupid, but I was young. I've not really had a fear of heights. Angel's Landing, as long as you're not going too close to the edge, you'll be fine. Also with Angel's Landing, I'm going to tell you now because when are you going? As long as it's not during summer, I think you'll be all right. But right now it's a zoo at Zion and Angel's Landing. And I won't lie to you, you know who you're going to get behind? Same people you get behind while driving on the roads in the left lane. Asian people and old people. And it's a single lane to get up there. You got to use a chain. If you're going to do Angel's Landing, get there fucking early. Get there fucking early. And you get in, you go right to that. You could explore the rest of the park. Temple Siranao is worth hiking too. But if you're going during summer, when the little kitties and the tourists come to the United States, they come to my national parks and they clog it up. You should, if you're in military and your buddy's in shape, you guys should be able to get to the top of Angel's Landing in easily under 2 hours. With traffic, it's 4. And then you're losing time, man. You're losing time. You should be able to do Angel's Landing and a good 2 miles up into Temple Siranao and back in one day. And then the rest, Zion's so cool. You could hike all over the place. Kolob Reservoir. But again, to pack this in, because when you're going to do this again, you got to make every second count. So with Zion and Angel's Landing, one, I won't worry about. You're just going to have to get over it, dude. They got chains. Hold on to the chains. Don't look over the railing. Lean. Be smart. You'll be able to do it. You're not scaling anything. But there's one where it's about a 3 foot wide, and there's a cliff here, and you just lean against that cliff, man. Because if you lean the other way, you're gonna go ploop, and then your buddy gets your National Parks Pass. Hey, free National Park Pass, all right. Thanks, Bob. Everybody in Cappy's world is named Bob. Neither of us has experiencing hiking these larger mountains. Angel's Landing and Zion is not a mountain. It's a canyon, a very beautiful canyon with steep cliffs. Mountains, your big problem there, more like Pikes Peak, but you drive up that. Rocky Mountain National Park, I recommend climbing Hallett's Peak. That I recommend. You can do that in a day. Is going to be your altitude sickness. I don't know how well acclimated you are. Everybody's different. But Hallett's Peak, if you're going to start Denver, I'd start Hallett's Peak. That'd be the first one I'd do. Start in the morning. You don't have to start early morning, but if you escape the rush. See if you could do Hallett's Peak. See if your buddy and you could get up to Hallett's Peak and back. And once you pass the tree line, see how well you're doing on oxygen and how much energy you have. That would be climbing a mountain. Angel's Landing, you're not going to get altitude sickness. I don't even think it's more than 5,000 or 6,000 feet. It's just a really scenic area and a canyon. So you'll say, and what are the other ones? So Rocky Mountains, Pikes Peak you drive up. Zion, Bryce, Arches, those are all fine. Monument Valley, you just drive through. Yosemite, if you do Half Dome, and a lot of these places you need to apply, you need to get on a lottery. My personal opinion, unless it's something specific like Half Dome, if there's a mountain you want to climb, and you need yourself a pass. Fuck you. You park the car, you bushwhack it a different way, you get to here we are. They try to do that to me in Mesa Verde National Park. It's $25 for the tour. Fuck you, I paid $25 to come in. I'm going to look at this shit anyway. Your fat, bloated park ranger ain't going to stop me. Yeah, so none of these are kind of, you drive through and look at them, and there's trails you can hike around. Zion, I'd definitely spend some time in. So test yourself with Hallett's, Halletts, Hallett's Peak. Narrow path with a massive drop can make an amateur feel uneasy and instead of enjoy the view. This time around, we'll be doing the higher observation point. What's observation point? No, don't do observation point. Do Angel's Landing and observation point Zion. What does this look like? Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's not bad. How long of a hike is that? Where's that from? Well, there's the river. There's the frickin' river. There's there's the trail. Yeah, observation point. Where's your trailhead? You come in out of the park. Yeah, look at all those. God, I need to move to Vegas. There's an arrows, yeah. That'd be fine too. I think you can do Angel's Landing. What's the longest trip I've taken? It was like a month long. But it's not comparable because I wasn't out there to tag all the national parks. I did, but I was just lollygagging for about a month and a half out west on my motorcycle. And I was crashing with different people and hanging out with them. And then, then I'd spend some time in the parks. So it's not, like if you got a job and you got to bang this out and you want to hit national parks, it's almost going to be a job. Me, it was more like, I went, what did I do? I did pretty much all the West. I did my Alaska trip, but that was only 2 weeks, and that was no hiking. That was just driving. But yeah, I did Denver, Grand Junction. I don't know, how did I get up in Wyoming? I've done multiple ones. They kind of blur together. But I wasn't hiking all the time. What are some things we need to be vigilant of when camping in the desert region? Other than that, it'll be hot and dry, then being cold. Again, I would camp in your van near waysides. That's what I would do. That may not be possible. Like Moab, there's not a wayside near Moab. You're gonna have to find a wayside up by the highway and crash there, or go find some federal land and crash there. And hotels are expensive. But even if you're an hour and a half out of Moab, that's going to save you time in setting up camp, taking down camp. But if you want to, and then what that allows, okay, we got water. And I just bring a backpack and I grab a bunch of soda waters. I grab some, 1 or 2 Gatorades with the electrolytes. I even cut it with water because you don't need that much electrolytes. If you've never been out to the desert, it's not as deserted as you think it is. There's usually civilization nearby. It's not, like you see in the movies, John Wick walking across the desert. Oh, here's my finger. If you've ever seen the movie. Other than it'll be hot and dry, then being cold at dusk. Yeah, I just, bring, it gets cold in the desert. It could get down to 40. Hell, I remember riding through Moab on my motorcycle. It was raining and 37, and that was the most miserable ride I ever had. So bring warm clothing for winter, or for night. What's the shortest amount of time you've gone hiking between hiking tall mountains? Our scheduled parents have 1 or 2 days rest between them. Yeah, that should be enough. What I'm going to recommend you guys do, unless you really like camping, I don't do camping. I don't, because you got to carry your shit. A lot of these people, we'll hike a day to get to base camp. Then we'll go up the mountain and down and camp again at base camp. Then we'll hike the day out. That just sounds like fucking torture. And it is, because you got to carry your fucking shit with you. Water, all that other crap. What I do is I do hikes that I can get up and down in a day. That's what I do. And all I got to bring with me is like 2 or 3 bottles of water. I think the longest hike I ever did was 20 miles in the mountains, and that took 9 or 10 hours. That was a long day. That was the most grueling trip. I did 18 in the Badlands one time. There's no elevation gain, really. Unless you guys really want to go tackle a peak that is far away from a road, I would recommend you just do 1-day hikes, especially if you're just doing surveying. Schedule out permits to have 1 to 2 days rest between them. Yeah, that'll be enough. That'll be enough. You need at least a day. Now, you're a fool and an idiot, and you go do one of these 3-day hiking extravaganzas with camping, you're just going to be burnt out. And you're going to need 2 days. But yeah, after 2 days, you should be able, especially if you're young, you should be able to go at it again. And tall mountains, keep in mind, it's not necessarily tall. Because there's not a lot of mountains in the desert. Yosemite, there's mountains. Rocky Mountains, there's mountains. But yeah, all of Utah is pretty much, all these places you're listing are canyons. And there's not a lot of elevation gain with those. Well, okay, Arches, or not Arches, Angel's Landing there is. But yeah, a day should be just fine. What are some of your lessons learned and some mistakes you made when taking a similar trip? Not to camp, not to carry my gear, and if this is truly an exploratory or reconnaissance mission, like you just want to see the West, you want to do it, what I would do is do more short hikes than fewer long ones. I'm not saying doing pit like Mount Elberg. That's the if you want to hear something real quick, up on the interstate, what is it? On Highway 70, if you want to climb a 14,000 foot mountain, you can do it. And it'll take you, if you're in good shape, like 2 hours. Mount Elridge. Is it Elberg? What is it? 14,000. 14er. All right. If you want to get a 14er, list of Colorado 14ers. Elbridge? Elbert, Harvard, Blanca, La Plata, Upuncagre, Crestone, Lincoln, Castle, Grays, Antero, Torreys, Quandary, Evans, Longs, Wilson, Princeton, Belford, Yale. Give me a second, it's there. Sniffles. Mount Democrat, Capitol Peak, Pikes Peak. It was Challenger, Columbia Mountain, Mount Bierstadt. Was that it? No, it wasn't. Maybe it was Bierstadt. Hang on. Oh, maybe it is Mount Bierstadt. Easy climb along with. Hang on, I think it was Mount Bierstadt. Yeah, it was Mount Bierstadt. Mount Bierstadt. Let's take a look. Come on, Clary, where's the highway? There's Mount Evans, there's Mount Bierstadt. Where's the highway? Nope, I am wrong. That was not it. There's some easy-ass hike along the interstate. Grays, oh, maybe that was it. Squaw, maybe that was it. God, it does look like it. Maybe it is Mount Bierstadt. Look up Cappy Cap Mount Bierstadt. So that's one thing I would do. If you're this is the first time you and your buddy been out west, I would explore more things. Like right now, you're missing Canyonlands. That right there, I'd spend 3 days in if you can. And the views, there's no views like it, none. You're not gonna find because so that's one mistake I did. I went to Arches, I didn't go to Canyonlands, and then on my way I went. Shorter, more hikes than longer, fewer ones. I really haven't screwed up. Similar to you camping. My first real trip, I took the train out to Glacier. And I slept on the train without having a booth. And when I got to Glacier, I was burnt out already. And I slept in a car that entire trip. I would not, don't camp, in other words. Get some damn good sleep. And maybe even get a hotel if you have to. Intermittently. What other things did I do wrong? Oh, here's a big one. Mountains. You can get snow in July. Okay? Look up the weather conditions of every place before you go there for that day. And you think, oh, what do you think, man? Like tornadoes, lightning, snow? Worst thing ever happened to me, fog. Fog. I drove all the way to the Grand Canyon, and the Grand Canyon was fogged over. You couldn't see anything. Like you literally could walk and fall off the cliff. And just make sure, like another example, this is the Grand Canyon has flummoxed me every time. I've never hiked it. I've been there 3 times now. I'm never going back. Another time I went there, it was late spring. I'm thinking, oh, this is perfect, late spring. We went to the southern rim. Now, what you don't know about the southern rim is the sun is in the southern part of the sky, so that southern rim is always in a shadow. Well, what would happen is the snow would melt to get hot, but then it would refreeze at night. So you're hiking down ice with water on top of it. So you just can't go down the southern rim. You have to go to the northern rim. Weather conditions, absolutely. Hiking conditions, absolutely. Another thing now, because the national park system is becoming more and more Nazi-like, they're gonna say like you need to get a pass. Like there's a thing called Hanging Lake. I'm gonna recommend if you happen to go through that area, which I'm presuming you are if you're going from Denver, Rocky Mountain National Park to Moab, which is where Arches and Canyonlands is, you're gonna go past a place called Hanging Lake. Hanging Lake is an absolute must. You can just pull off the side of the road doing, but you might need to get a pass now. It's not a mistake, but if you're going during summer, you're gonna need to deal with people. And that means 4 a.m., you get up, you get on that trail, you get it down, hike down, then you get to your next destination. Timing and scheduling is everything. Make damn sure you can find the trailheads. Spending an hour making sure you know where a trailhead is on a map before you go out there, drive around trying to figure it out. Do that, because when you get to these trailheads, a lot of them, there's no internet access. And then you'll be wandering and then you're wasting more time. Know exactly where that motherfucking trailhead is. So you go directly there and you're not wasting your time. I'd recommend carrying a gun, but you're going to go into California if you go into Yosemite. But with your buddy and you, I think most predatory animals will leave you alone. I don't think you're going any place where there's bear except Yosemite and Rocky Mountains. Usually you bring a can or a noisemaker, but again, 2 of you should be just fine. I'm not worried about gas. In the olden days, and by old I mean no more than 20 years ago, you had to worry about gas. Now there's enough gas stations. Don't think you have to go to a national park to get some good hiking. That Hanging Gardens is not a national park. Mexican Hat, not a national park. I mean, you just look at a hat is really what it is. There's some great hiking in Blanding, south of Moab. I'm just trying to think of mistakes. I really haven't made that many mistakes. Like, weather is the main one. Like, going to a place thinking it's just going to be sunny and nice, and it's not. Do you wear hiking boots strictly, or can you get away with wearing minimalist shoes? I wear my running shoes when I hike. There are hiking, they're not boots. Boots, I don't like boots because you got to break them in and they can blister up your ankles. There are hiking shoes that have a little bit wider and slanted of a sole so you don't roll your ankle, which I've done, which I'm wrong. I'm wrong in that instance. I need to get hiking shoes. I just use my running shoes, which has worked out for 20 odd years just fine. But damn it if I'm not rolling my ankle once every year. And I really should just drop the extra money and get some hiking shoes. And I would definitely wear those suckers in. Don't be doing your hikes now with a brand new pair of shoes. You guys go get your hiking shoes now and you go run up and down hills, climb, do something, break those suckers in so you find out whether you're getting blisters or not, or the shoe starts to give and you wear them in. Depending on this answer, I will want to be just wearing my Merrell Trail Glove 5s. Is this one of those foot gloves? Are you one of those assholes? Dude, until you try it, then you know, yeah, whatever, weirdo. I don't know. I don't know anything about these shoes. They look all right. Trail glove, all right. Movement, all right. Yeah, if these are hiking shoes, those are fine. Wear socks. Don't wear ankle socks. Wear socks all the way up. My buddy Con, oh my God, he'll hike without socks. I'm like, Jesus, Con, what are you doing? Boots I've also sit much higher. I hate rolling my foot in them. Yeah, sincerely, Anonymous. Veteran Booty Boo, Booty Booty Bee. Yeah, so there you go. That's that to answer your questions, just give you some general stuff on what is going to be a month-long hike. I'm trying to think what else you might be missing. Pikes Peak. You're going to go Denver. Then you're going to go Moab. Then you're going to drop south past Blanding and Mexican Hat. That whole area is really neat because what's happening is at Canyonlands, that's where the Colorado River meets the Green River, and then they continue to form. That's where more or less the Grand Canyon forms. I go to the Grand Canyon, you're there. If you come out, here's something cool to do. Kayenta. That's I think it's the Navajo headquarters, the nation's headquarters. And you're going to come through that after going through Monument Valley. And I'm just trying to think if you can drop south before going into Flagstaff. Where is it? There's a crater, maybe half a mile. Is this it? Yeah, there it is. I can see it on the map. There's a crater. Meteor Crater National Landmark. It's a private thing. Yeah, I guess it'd just be faster to go to Flagstaff. Go to this crater, and it is. What is it about? Yeah, it's about 40 miles, 30 miles east of Flagstaff. That's worth it. I think you pay $5. You're not going to see a crater like that ever again. It's totally worth it. So when you come down, yeah, you go to Flagstaff anyway. Okay, and then you got Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon, you either look at it or you hike it. And if you're going to hike it, get there early, go down and back, and you better be in damn good shape to do that. But if you go to the Grand Canyon and you're not going to hike it, go there, look at it, take your pictures. Okay, it doesn't change. Truly do the... Was it Mark Griswold, American Vacation? Yep, okay, there it is, and then you leave. Because there's nothing else to do. You look at it, you saw the Grand Canyon. Unless you're going to hike it, there's really no reason to stay there. And then you get your ass to Vegas. Yeah, and then if you're in Vegas, yeah, you got quite a distance between the Grand Canyon and Yosemite National Park. Let's do that. I'm not terribly versed in California national parks because I hate California. Grand Canyon to Yosemite. Just trying to think what you're going to be doing. Although you may go through... Yeah, if you're in Moab, maybe you do want to cut over to Zion and Bryce and do that. And then go to the northern rim of the Grand Canyon. You could do that. Okay, yeah, so I'm just looking at what there is. Death Valley isn't worth seeing. You might drive through it. Oh, okay, so they have you go... I'd go with the southern approach to Yosemite National Park. That I want to do on my motorcycle. What is the road there? 395. That looks like a wonderful drive, which I haven't had time to do, which I will one of these days, yeah. Then, I don't know, on your way back, depending on the time you have, yeah, Kings Canyon is worth checking out, but then I don't know where you gotta, I should have asked where you were going. On your way back, I mean, there's a zillion things you could do. There's a big ass basin there, there's nothing there. I thought there was something there one time and there's not. Yeah. Then after Yosemite, yeah, do whatever you want. Stop in Reno, check out Lake Tahoe. That's another thing where like, look at it. Okay, we saw Lake Tahoe, maybe drive around it, but there's nothing really to do except look at the lake, maybe swim in it. And then make your way to Salt Lake City. If you got extra time, I recommend Vernal, Dinosaur National Park. The Dinosaur Park is amazing to see what they're digging up over there. Take the tour. But then there's some really cool hiking where the Yampa and the Green Rivers meet. That's some beautiful hike. The let me see if I can't find the Name of the hike I did. Where's the hike? Come on, Cleary. You did the hike. Where's the road? There's the road. There's the Green River. Come on. Where is it? There's Vernal. There it is. What is this? What is this road? I went there. I hiked it. There's a fishery there. It's a trail right on the border between Utah and Colorado. There's petroglyphs. It's by Hard Scramble Mountain. That was a real cool hike. I forget what the name of that hike was. So there you go. All right, that's enough of me rambling. Questions, answers, ASOConsulting.com. Get this book before you go out west.